Happy morning, dear students. Today's topic is ventricular septal defects. Okay, this ventricular septal defect, it is an congenital malformation. It comes under the acyanotic heart diseases. What is ventricular septal defects means? It is a communication between the ventricles. Some communication is there here, the opening. Normally, this is the healthy heart. Okay, these are the atriums, right atrium and then left atrium. This is right ventricular and left ventricle. This is the normal structure of the heart. Here the one septum is there between the two atriums, that is two ventricles, that is right ventricle to left ventricle. But in the ventricle septal defect, there is an communication between the two ventricles. So it is called as the ventricular septal defects. Okay, all of you clear? Mostly we will see in the congenital malformations, these conditions. Okay. Coming to the introduction, a ventricular septal defect is an abnormal communication between the right and the left ventricles. It is most common type of congenital heart defects, accounting for approximately 25% of all congenital heart diseases. Okay, here the ventricular septal defects varies in the size, that is small and restrictive to the large and non-restrictive defects. Normal, we will identify a type of perimembranous or membranous. Sometimes single versus the multiple also is there. Okay, here the mostly we will see in this ventricular septal defects is single. Sometimes in some conditions multiple septal defects is the communication is there, and mostly the perimembranous or membranous type is there. Okay. Here, coming to the pathophysiology and the etiology of ventricular septal defects. The blood flow from the high pressure, that is left ventricle, across to the VSD into the low pressure, that is right ventricle, and into the pulmonary artery, resulting in the pulmonary over circulation. Look at here this image. What happened? This is the high pressure blood. Okay, here what happened, in between the right ventricular and left ventricle there is an hole is there, the septum opening is there. So what happened here, the high pressure ventricles across the VSD, ventricular septal defect, into the low pressure. Here look at here, the how the arrow mark is there, through high pressure blood to comes to the low pressure blood. So the pulmonary over circulation is there. So here where it is there, in the pulmonary artery. Okay, this is the pulmonary artery is there. Okay, because the septal defect, the ventricular septal defect, the blood flow through goes to the high blood pressure, goes to the pulmonary artery because some opening is there, no? So it is moving there. And a left to right shunt because of ventricular septal results the increased right ventricular pressure and increased pulmonary artery pressure is there. Here, because here the pressure is high in the left side of the heart, in the left ventricle. What happened? Because of high pressure, the oxygenated blood enter into the right ventricle. So here the pressure is more in the right ventricle and pulmonary artery because the hole is there, no, the connection between. So the pressure is high in the right ventricular and then pulmonary artery. Okay, this is pathophysiology. The increased pulmonary venous returns to the left side of the heart, resulting in the left atrial dilatation because increased pulmonary dilatation is there, no? So the left atrial dilatation also is there because that, and long standing pulmonary over circulation causes a change in the pulmonary arterial bed, leading to increased pulmonary vascular resistance is there. Okay, because of long standing pulmonary over circulation is there, it may cause to change in the pulmonary arterial blood. Okay, here the bed also may be changed. It leads to the increased pulmonary vascular resistance. Okay, this is about the pathophysiology of ventricular septal defects. Okay, here the high pressure high pulmonary vascular resistance, that is PVR, can reverse the blood flow pattern that leads to the right to left shunt across the VSD. Okay, here we will identify the Amendes syndrome. Here the Amendes syndrome we will see in the VSD conditions. It resulting in cyanosis because some patch is there, the muscular membrane of the perimuscular membrane of the septum. It may having some holes. It may leads to the child is having here the right to left shunt is there. Here the right to left shunt is there. It may leads to the cyanosis. Okay, it resulting in the cyanosis. Once in the develops, the child is no longer candidate for the surgical repair. Sometimes the surgical intervention was not needed for these conditions, but most cases the surgical intervention is needed for the VSD conditions. Okay, this is about the pathophysiology. We will see once again what is pathophysiology, because and the communication between the two ventricles, what happened, the high blood pressure, the high pressure of the blood may enter into the low pressure, means the left side of the ventricle blood, that is oxygenated blood, may enter into the deoxygenated side, that is in the right ventricle. Okay, here how it may, when the ventricle contraction, where that blood is enter, when the ventricle contraction, that blood may enter into the pulmonary artery. So the pressure is more high into the pulmonary artery. Okay, so it is called as left to right shunt. When what happened here, because of that the atriums is also is having the more workload in this condition, because the mitral valve is open and the tricuspid valve is open and the blood is moving around here and there. So the pressure is more high in the right ventricle and then pulmonary artery. Okay, here the Amendes syndrome is there. Here the membranous opening is there. No, so here the right to left shunt is there. Right to left shunt, it may leads to the cyanotic condition. Sometimes the surgical intervention is needed for this ventricle septal defects. It is depending upon the size of the communication. Sometimes the surgical intervention is not needed for those candidates. Okay, this is about the pathophysiology and the etiology of the ventricle septal defects. Okay, coming to the clinical manifestations. If it is small ventricle septal defects, usually asymptomatic. High spontaneous closure rate during the first year of the life. Okay, if it is small opening is there in that ventricle septal defects, what happened, there is no surgical intervention is needed. Automatically when the child is grown up by the 1 year, automatically this ventricle septal defect is closed. When it is a large VSD, the child is having clinical features of congestive heart failure. Okay, what are the clinical features is there in that congestive heart failure? Child is having tachypnea, tachycardia, excessive sweating associated with the feeding. Okay, these are the clinical features we are seeing in the whether it is large VSD conditions. And hepatomegaly, and then child is having poor weight gain and frequent upper respiratory tract infections also is there, and then failure to thrive and feeding difficulties, decreased exercise tolerance. These are the clinical features we are identifying whether the child is having large ventricle septal defects. Okay, whether if it is small, there is no asymptomatic conditions is there. Okay, this is about the clinical features of VSD. And coming to the diagnostic evaluations, here whenever we are auscultating the harsh systolic regurgitant murmurs hard when the best at the lower left sternal border, that is LLSB, we will identify this systolic regurgitant murmurs we will see hard, and then systolic thrill felt at the LLSB we will see, that is lower left sternal border we will see the thrill felt. Okay, mostly we will identifying this thrill felt sounds, okay, in the VSD condition. And then narrowly split, okay, sometimes split is seen in the S2 sounds. Okay, that is S1 S2 sounds is there. Now we will auscultate in the S2 area. Okay, this is about the auscultation. And coming to the chest X-ray, it varies normal or cardiomegaly Why this cardiomegaly is there? Because of overload is there. Because of overload of the ventricles, the high pressure of high pressure to moves to the low pressure. So the cardiomegaly may be seen in this ventricular septal defects. Increased pulmonary vascular marking, and then pulmonary vascular marking are directly proportionate to the amount of left to right shunt. Okay, these are the conditions, VSD, ASD and patent ductal arteriosus and then coarctation of the aorta. These conditions we are seeing in the left to right shunt. Okay, but whenever the pressure is more in the MN's conditions, MN syndrome condition, right to left shunt also is there. In that conditions what happen? The cyanotic conditions also we will see. Okay, here whenever we are checking the ECG electrocardiogram, that time it varies the normal to biventricular hypertrophy. Here the biventricle, the ventricles are hypertrophy we will see in the ECG changes. And coming to the two-dimensional 2D echo with the Doppler study and then color flow mapping to identify the size, number and then site of the defects, estimates the pulmonary artery pressure and then identify the associated lesions. Here the pulmonary artery pressure also is increased because the communication is there, no? So PA pressure also is increased, so that also is estimated in the 2D echo, how much the pressure is there, how much the size of the communication, the hole is there in between the septum. They are identifying in the assessing of two-dimensional echogram. And coming to the cardiac catheterization, usually not needed for the initial diagnosis. In all conditions, this cardiac catheterization was not needed in the initial, but when may be needed to calculate the size of the shunt or to assess the PVR levels. Okay, here the how much the pressure is there in that, so they are assessing for the cardiac catheterization and may be performed if defect can be closed using a ventricular closure device. The device can be used only the muscular defects. I said in that first early, the septal may be vascular, perivascular or muscular defects is there. Whether the defects also is identified by assessing the under the cardiac catheterization. Okay, and coming to the management, if it is small VSD, the medical management is needed for the small ventricular septal defects. Usually no anticoagulant, anticongestive therapy is needed. If it is child is having infective endocarditis, prophylactic for the 6 months after the surgical implantation of ventricular closure device. The cardiac catheterization for placement of a ventricular closure device for the muscular defects. Here if it is a muscular defects is there, the cardiac catheterization is needed. The surgical intervention is usually not necessary if it is small VSD conditions. Moderate to large conditions, the ventricular septal defects is there, that time the surgical intervention is needed. Okay, whether it is associated with this large conditions, congestive heart failure is there. So according to that, you should manage the congestive heart failure. The management of congestive heart failure is digoxin and then diuretics, that is furosemide and spironolactone. These are the medications they are used for the congestive heart failure conditions, and after loaded reactions also maybe they are giving. About the oxygen. Oxygen is a potent pulmonary vasodilatation and will increase the blood flow to the pulmonary arteries. So they are avoid the oxygen, and increased caloric intake is needed for this congestive heart failure conditions. Fourth formula for breast milk to make 24 to 30 calories, kilocalories is formula they are also formulas they are giving, and supplementation of nasogastric feeding as needed. If baby whether this congestive heart failure that time baby is unable to take feeds, no, so they are giving the supplementary feeds, that is nasogastric feeding they are advised. And infective endocarditis prophylaxis for 6 months after the surgery, ventricular devices occlude they are giving, and cardiac catheterization for the placement of ventricular occlusion device for muscular defects. They are doing this cardiac catheterization in this congestive heart failure conditions also. This is the management of congestive heart failure. And coming to the refer to the surgical. If it is large ventricular septal defect is there, okay, you should treat the surgical intervention. Usually repaired before the 1 year of age group. Okay, before 1 year only they are doing the surgical interventions. Here the 2-stage surgery is there. The first 1-stage surgery, it is preferred patch closure of the VSD, ventricular septal defects. Here the patch closure. And 2-stage approach, the first surgery is to band the pulmonary artery to restrict the pulmonary blood flow, and second surgery is patch closure, that is a VSD, and then remove the band, that is a patch pulmonary artery band they are removed. Look at this here. First of all, here this is the ventricle. Here the ventricle is having hole, the connection is there. Mostly here the one stage surgery, that is approach, it prefer the patch to keep the patch between the VSD. Okay, so here the patch, this is the patch, they are keep the VSD in between the septal opening, that patch is keeping. Whether after that they are doing the second 2-stage approach. The first surgery band they are moving in the pulmonary artery. Here the high blood pressure is moving in the pulmonary artery, they are they are providing band. After that, whenever they are removing that patch, that band also is removed. This is about the surgical intervention of ventricular septal defects. What is the surgical intervention is patch closure. Remember this. The ventricular septal defects surgical intervention is patch closure. Okay. And coming to the long-term follow-up, the monitor the ventricle functions, assess the ventricle functions by assessing auscultation of the heart sounds, monitor for the subaortic membranes and double chamber right ventricle pressure also they are assessing for long-term follow-up management. Okay, this is about the long-term follow-up management. And coming to the complications, here the complications are congestive heart failure. Every conditions in VSD conditions, almost those children who are having VSD, they are having the congestive heart failure. So you should manage the congestive heart failure management also is needed. And then frequent upper respiratory tract infections also is present for those children. Next one is failure to thrive, and then four-weight gain, and then ineffective endocarditis. And then next here the Emmons syndrome is there. What are the Emmons syndrome means? Here the look at this image. Emmons syndrome means deoxygenated blood also may enter into this right ventricle to left ventricle. So what happened? Deoxygenated blood enter into the left ventricle. What happened? So baby right to left shunt is there. It may leads to the cyanotic conditions, but these VSD conditions are left to right shunts. Means here the what happened, left to right shunt, because of Emmons syndrome, the pressure is moves to the right to the left. So deoxygenated blood may enter into the oxygenated side. So child is having cyanosis. Okay, this is the very important Emmons syndrome. Deoxygenated blood may enter into the oxygenated side. So child is having right to left shunt. Okay, but it is VSD conditions are left to right shunt. Okay, so in this what happened, child is suffering with the membranes. Okay, here the membranous opening also is there, that is systemic to pulmonary circulation connection is there. So left to right shunt of blood is there, and so here the left to right shunt of the blood, and the increased pulmonary blood flow also is there. Irreversible pulmonary vascular injury, and then irreversible pulmonary vascular resistance is there. Right to left shunt of blood, okay, I said no, and hypoxia, and then erythrocyanosis is there. Child is having cyanotic conditions. Okay, and next one is, next complication is pulmonary hypertension. Here the child is suffered with the pulmonary hypertension, and then aortic insufficiency is there. Okay, these are the complications is present in the ventricular septal defects. Okay, all of you clear? This is about the ventricular septal defects. What is ventricular septal defects? It is a communication between the ventricles. The 90% are located in the membranous part of the ventricle septum. Okay, the surgical intervention of this ventricular septal defect is patch repair. The stage 1 and then stage 2 approaches is there. First, in stage 1 they are doing the patch at the over the ventricles, and then patch second stage approach, two stage approach, they are ligate or band the pulmonary artery, and after that they are removing the patch. Okay, if it is small ventricular septal defects, the closure automatically it is closed when the child grown up to 1 year of age group. Automatically this small VSD may be subsided. When if it is large VSD, it is associated with the some complications like CHF and upper respiratory tract infections, and then endocarditis and Meninges syndrome. Okay, these are the conditions we are associated with this large VSD. Okay, all of you clear? This is about the VSD. This is the left to right shunt conditions. I hope